So then, the Mexico City Grand Prix, we go up from 56 laps to 71 laps. We go way, way up in altitude to the highest in terms of above sea level track in the calendar. Let's have a bit of a talk about it. Now, in the past, it used to be an issue of if the team's got enough cooling, or do they have to compromise even more in terms of the power they're putting out. But we don't really have that as an issue anymore. Instead, the issues are similar ones we've seen at Kota. Track limits, making sure you're hitting your apexes and, not hitting another car. Turn 1, 2, and 3 are so tight that you'll probably see somebody going off at least once during the weekend to avoid an incident. And sometimes the same with 4 and 5, but a bit less so. Of course, we end with that fantastic stadium section and the podium where we've seen cars raised up before. Actually, I don't know. Are we going to have that podium ceremony again, or are they doing the net zero podium thing that we saw from last year? But I remember seeing that the first couple of times when it was for Hamilton and Verstappen winning. It was really cool seeing, drive through in that winning car, get lifted up onto the podium and then covered in champagne. But yeah, it's got a fantastic atmosphere, the Mexico City Grand Prix. It's a really fun one to watch, and it's a really fun one to follow along. And much like the United States Grand Prix, big following for Sergio Perez. Now, there were rumours that he might announce a retirement this weekend. I am recording this on the Monday, so if that's happened, then I've missed it. Or that he'd have to make sure that he was still in second in the championship by this point. After the disqualification of Lewis Hamilton on Sunday for the plank issues with the car, they, have a bit more of a cushion. It's now a race in hand. And speaking of Mercedes, will they be able to perform quite well, or will they struggle? I mean, I think in the past, the Hondas were typically the better car because they didn't lose so much power at altitude. Mercedes were the ones that tend to struggle with cooling. So maybe that will get maintained, but Mercedes have really worked on their power unit at altitude over the past few seasons since this was happening. And this, I'm thinking about, 2017? So we are talking, 6 years ago. But yeah, Logan Sargent, fresh for his first points Formula 1, will be itching to increase his tally, and the Williams has tended to be good at higher speed tracks. I mean, look at Monza last season with De Vries getting points on debut. But also Daniel Ricciardo is going to be looking to try and set the record straight. He still doesn't have any points this season. I think he's the only driver left out of the current cohort who doesn't have points. So will he be able to pick up points, or will he struggle again in his second Grand Prix back? He said he had some race rustiness to shake off. And the other thing will be, will anyone be able to stop Max Verstappen? He's been doing really well. And that's partially because he's so dialed into that Red Bull, but it's also to do with how adaptable he is to some of the situations that have been thrown at him. He has been the class of the field this season, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets yet another win. He got his 50th at Kota. Will it be his 51st in Mexico? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.